Hey, friends. Welcome to the Raising Boys and Girls podcast. I'm Sissy Goff.
And I'm David Thomas, and we're so glad you've joined us for this conversation. Let's dive in. It should be noted as we begin our episode with Enneagram 7s that we have laughed no less than 10 times since I walked in the door. We had a soundtrack playing as one of them entered upon request. So we knew we were going to be heading into some fun with these two, didn't we?
Absolutely, yes.
Which 7s bring to our lives in amazing ways. And we have been counting down to this interview with two dear folks we love, who are family, who are colleagues, who are friends. You all check all the boxes.
Yes.
We're bananas about you. And we have kids represented, we realized here, from 3 to 31.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a big span, which is so fun.
Will you all say the ages of your kids?
Sure.
Mine are 31 and 29. And then I have two stepchildren that are 30 and 32.
And I have a 3 and a 6-year-old.
Who have been on the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Both
right.
of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All amazing humans.
That's
We
the
can
truth.
testify to that.
Yes.
Well, as we jump in with our dear friends, Mary and Aaron, will you all start out by just telling us, what do you love the most about being a 7? What do you love the least?
I love the most. I don't know any other way to be when I thought about that question. So I can think of numbers that I probably wouldn't like to be, but I love to be a 7 because I, again, just am wired to always look at the positive side of every situation. And I like getting a laugh. I like turning sad things into happy. So that's my favorite thing about being a 7.
I wonder how many numbers would say, I love being a blank because, even that you would start it that way,
Yeah.
says so much and makes me so envious.
Well, it's not always good. Was there a
Right.
least too? Was that the other question?
Yeah.
The least is that what I just described is expected of me a lot. And like,
To bring the fun and funny.
yeah, which again, it is what I would rather be all the time. But when I'm in a bad mood or in a down place, I don't like it. I hate it. I don't like the way it feels on my inside, and other people can see it on my face. And I feel like somebody asked me one time, are you feeling okay? Are you like, is something wrong? And like they thought I was sick. And I was like, no, I'm fine. And I had to and it just feels, it doesn't feel like me. So as I've gotten older, anyway, practicing feeling sad has been a good thing because I know that sometimes that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
What a terrible, honest reaction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
No.
it was honest. But do you feel that way?
No. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I feel like if I feel like we are optimistic to the core, and I think I've realized that's you become an adult and that can bother other people. Like we feel unrealistic a lot of the times, but it's true to us,
It
like
is.
and
I feel like you're both honest enough, though, that it's hard for me to imagine people feeling that way about either of you. But
It can
That's 'cause I
get on
love you.
people's nerves, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe to always be that way. And I've had, and we can get into this later, but working here, I've had to learn that, sometimes I have to dial that down because people are going through hard stuff and they don't want to hear it reframed every minute.
Yeah.
yes.
And you have to be careful, like approaching people here smiling. Like not everyone's coming in here with a smiley story
Right.
that day. And I think that's what can be tricky. I think that is what's hard is I think with the series, you're helping people look at how our Enneagram numbers are our superpower. And that can be like learning to turn that off can be hard and feel disingenuous to us. And I think learning to harness it rather than flip it on and off, it can just be tricky. And I don't feel like we have a ton of practice in diving deep into sadness ever. Maybe.
No.
Yeah.
And working here, honestly, has helped grow that part of me because I answer the phones and there's people on the other end with a heartbreaking, sad story.
Mm.
And so I literally have to just slow myself down and just listen to them. It's not a place I like to be, I'll be honest. But when I'm hearing them on the other end, and I know how hard it was for them to pick up the phone, and it's not like I've never been through stuff. I felt it myself. So, but it doesn't come naturally to me.
Yeah. You need to tell the people what you do here.
Okay. Thanks
Tell
for
the
asking,
people.
Erin.
Tell the people.
I manage the front office with 2 other lovely women. And so I'm going to be the first face when you walk in the door, the first person to talk to you if you're calling in as a new client. So that's why I'm hearing some of those stories a lot. And I do have to remember that it's taken a lot sometimes for them to pick that phone up for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and how much this place has benefited from you being the first face and the first voice.
That
Thank
is the
you.
truth. And how much we do. I mean, it is a balm to me to walk into your office.
It is.
That's so
often.
nice.
I
Thank you.
genuinely mean it.
Really? Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
I do want to be the smiley, happy person when people come in. And I know they're not always coming in feeling uplifted. But again, my natural instinct is to want to try to give them at least one moment of smiling back or, you know.
I think that's why there's a lot of staff members who come invade your office. Like there's just a lot of people who are like, well, that was a hard hour of talking through somebody's trauma. I'm going to get
It's true.
10 seconds of sunshine. And, you know,
Yes.
I think that, and that when you talked about the responsibility of that, I do feel that as well. Or it's like people expect, especially in the summers when we work with college students, and on down to the kids we work with, they kind of expect that same speed out of you. And I think I'm learning that my kids do too. So if you do have a down day or a down hour or 5 minutes, people do get like, you okay?
I know.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and I think it's easy to feel like you let people down if you're not chipper and smiling and ready for the next adventure. So,
Yeah. It's true. So much pressure being us.
Yes.
No.
It's really not.
No, it's not. It's an absolute honor and pleasure.
That is sarcasm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Erin, will you say what you do?
Sure. I do fundraising here, the director of giving, and then I get to work with kids and groups and at Hopetown in the summer. And I think us being the 2 sevens in the office, like we're in the places we need to be. I think relationally, we get to celebrate all the work that Daystar does and the way we fundraise, that it's like, it's amazing gift to be able to contribute to a really special organization and help kids. And also, I mean, if you run a summer camp, you kind of have to bring the energy and bring the excitement, especially with the boys we get to work with. So,
especially when you run it with a sister-in-law who's very intense and logistic.
No,
you
not
got to bring a
intense.
lot of the fun.
You're
Yeah.
a fun sissy goth.
That's
Yeah.
very nice. Well, okay. I think it's a great opportunity to say, because we haven't yet, while you're sitting here and we're talking about fundraising, that for those of you who are listening and not watching, if you're watching, you can see it. But if you're listening, we have the wonkiest podcast equipment you have ever seen in your life. It was amazing when it was built. Now it is this table that the 4 legs pop out. All of the microphones come out. They are now hanging from bars and threads at this point. Literally, while we talk, we have to lower our heads as we talk because the microphones slip down. And we are adding on at Daystar because we have counselors who don't have space. We're so excited about the addition, and we're going to have a real podcast studio
yeah.
instead of David's makeshift counseling office. And we're just going to have a little advertisement. If you love this podcast, you can help give to our studio if you want to, and give to the Daystar House.
Yeah.
Because we're so grateful. We're going to be able to serve more families, help more kids, have more podcasts that sound even better, look even better, which we're so excited about. How do they give, Erin?
Thank you for setting me up.
Yeah.
This is amazing. So we are adding 8 new counseling offices to the Daystar House. All of them are filled by people who work here now. all of them are extreme needs. Melissa, who y'all know from the books and the podcast, does not have an office right now. I mean, we're
Our
all just
Daystar's
shuffling
founder.
around. Yeah, she's our founder, and the one person who should have an office does not.
Gave hers up.
We are. This has been a need for a number of years, and we're in the construction phase right now. We have a roof and siding, and
we've
really
raised how
happening.
much of our goal?
We've needed $2.8 million to do it, and we've raised just over $2 million as of yesterday. So if you would like to give to this project, you can go to daystarcounseling.com. And there's a whole tab on the website dedicated to the building project. And we'd love your help. I mean, the podcast studio, if you had to kind of break it out, we need about $150,000 per office to complete. So we need your help. We're coming up with fun ideas how y'all can be involved. And if you watch the videos, you'll get to see that transformation at some point.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Just a little PSA.
Yeah.
I thought this
love
was
it.
nice. I didn't know this wasn't nice.
My microphone often starts at my face, ends up in my lap at the end of the
We
conversation.
colored the table with Sharpies to
Oh,
make it
my
look
it's
better.
just falling apart.
Okay,
Yeah,
all
it is
right.
falling
Little
apart.
behind the
Moving along.
scenes. Okay.
Okay, so back to sevens.
Yes.
So parents listening who think, I wonder if that might be what is going on with my kids. I feel like you could have a 7 on your hands
I
potentially.
think so. Yeah.
Mhm.
I think so too.
So thinking back on your own growing up,
Mm-hmm.
when do you feel like you first saw evidence of your 7-ness? And it can be a story,
Yeah.
a memory, anything.
Where are you in the birth order?
I'm the middle of three girls.
So you're
I'm
second.
the middle.
You're
Yeah,
second.
I'm second.
All the 7s I know, I was thinking through this
Are
morning,
not first
are the
born.
second born.
Oh,
Wow.
interesting.
Of the 5 7s that are like closest to me are
Okay.
all second
Fascinating.
I
born.
have to think about
That's
that.
Yeah.
really interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know what that means.
I don't either.
Mm.
Call Suzanne, but
We'll ask her.
yeah.
That's fascinating. I was thinking about this question when y'all posed it, and I don't have a lot of stories. There's one vivid memory. Okay, I can think of a couple actually. So my daddy, God rest his soul, love him so much. He is Iranian, and he passed away 12 years ago now, I think, maybe 13. But anyway, he used to get the biggest kick out of me I feel like some ways my whatever they say about 7 charm, could get my way with my dad because he just was entertained by me. And I used to run around. This is an embarrassing one, but I literally can remember sliding up and down the banister singing "Yummy, yummy, yummy, I got love in my tummy." I don't know why, and I don't know how old I was. And my dad said something in Farsi to my mom because she learned how to speak it. And I was like, "What's he saying?" And she just said something like, he just was like, "This is Mary," or whatever, And I don't have a lot of childhood memories, but that's one of them. And then the other one is I can remember my mother saying to me that there were 3 girls, and she said, "You each got to pick one activity each season, and you were always the one that wanted to do more than one. You were always pushing I always pushed the envelope. Apparently, I still do, according to the people that know and love me. But and I would bug and bug and bug. And I think Suzanne calls it being pecked to death by chickens. But my daddy used to say something. Can I say the word butt or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
He used to call me a hot needle in the butt. Because when I want something, I would hound and not. I mean, he said it lovingly, and just hot needle somebody to death, and I still do, and it works.
That's
But
great.
It
What's
wears
an
them
example of that? Because I think we are all we're all guilty of trying to sell our dream to everybody. Like, wouldn't it be fun if we all?
I mean, anything. I'm thinking about
Yes.
with Kyle, my husband. If he says something like, "Oh, let's go to whatever Mexico this winter," I'll be like, "Okay, well, when are we gonna go?" What? I mean, I won't let it die until
yeah,
it happens.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Anything it is.
Mhm.
I can't think of another good example, but I would buy if I wanted to go out, on the weekend with my friends when I was growing up. I would not quit until they gave me, the I'll think about it was not for me. I need an answer here and now.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
sometimes it was not the answer I wanted. And they're like, "Well, you wanted the answer now and you didn't give me a minute to think about it." So
That's great.
That's the honest truth.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, I relate.
Mhm.
From childhood, that's funny. I don't have a ton of memory. Maybe we're so future thinking that the memories aren't.
It was hard for me to go
Yeah.
back and think of, I just don't know why that yummy
Yeah.
yummy one stuck in my head. That wasn't you, I guess.
Yeah, no yummy for me. I think I was a little too conscious of being easy. And I think it's a middle child thing, but I think there is the 7 part of like levity has to be part of who we are. And just had a lot of feelings towards like just being overly accommodating and grateful for everything. My family refers to it as the green shorts Christmas, because one Christmas come down and there's gifts under the tree, and I had one box under the tree and I had some green soccer shorts in the box, and my parents look at each other and they're like, what are we doing? Like, we only got Aaron one gift. And
Wait, everybody else had a bunch?
yeah.
Oh.
Aw.
And they're like, well, you didn't ask for, not that was the reason why, but a big reason was they're like, you never asked for anything and you never seem to need much. But those green shorts became everything
shorts.
to me. Yeah, I wore them every day I could. But
it's still hard for you to name things you want for Christmas.
Yeah.
This is why the Enneagram fascinates me, because we could not be more opposite
I
than
know.
that.
And that's
My
where I think
list
subtypes
is-
have a lot. There's a lot of things there. I know.
When people talk about stereotyping the Enneagram, though, truly, it's like, just because we're both 7s, we can be very different. Like,
Mhm.
Yes.
I spoke, always will, my needs
Yeah.
and my wants.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of them. And
Yeah.
it's probably annoying to the people around me, but I never had that feeling.
Well,
So,
and you grew up with your family in an inner city ministry.
we grew up in
Yeah.
2 different
Yeah.
households, too.
So that
yeah.
impacts it some
Well,
too.
I didn't know much about subtypes till we did our training 2 weeks ago. And part of being a social 7, you would think it's all like just going out and having fun and talking everyone's ear off. And that is certainly part of it, but some of it is everyone else's needs are ahead of
Mhm.
yours. And often you neglect what you need. And so it's like, oh, that is,
We're
yeah,
different subtypes.
we are
That's
different
what it is.
subtypes. Yeah.
Got to be.
Right. I think when I was always like trying to round everyone up, it's like, what would be most fun for everybody?
That's what I was going to say. I feel like I watch you hot needle Kathleen to get her
Yes.
to do fun things.
Yes. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Kathleen, you'll love this.
Yes.
You really
right,
need to.
Right. Or let's try.
That's fun.
If we are trying something new, it would be something you would like if
Yes.
you would just let your guard down
Yes.
or trust me. And so it's hard to trust a 7 to have your best interests at heart.
Listen, both of our, both
Or
of
to
our
like
spouses.
consider all
yeah.
the factors and everyone's personalities. I feel like we're like, no, you'll like this.
Thankfully, I have a husband who just is like, whatever you
Yeah.
want. I mean, he really
You've
is
beat him
so-
down
No.
to the point where he.
No. First of all, he's wired
Kind
that
of.
way. He's a 5, so he's wired that way to just be like, that's great, whatever you want, So I'm very, very lucky
Yes.
in that respect because, yeah.
And now we're going to take a little break to hear from one of our sponsors who makes this podcast possible.
Every year, Sissy, you're like the Christmas elf I'll never live up to.
I do love a head start. I went a little wild on Wayfair's Black Friday sale. I got new holiday inflatables for the lake house, a fishing rack for Henry's rods, and some top secret gifts for my sister and brother-in-law.
Connie made me a subtle shopping list. Every day I come home and she's added more things to the list. Lamps, baskets, a rug. She left it on my desk, my nightstand, and even taped one to the coffee pot.
She's helping you succeed, David.
Or reminding me I haven't started. But Wayfair really does have everything. Furniture, decor, gifts, cookware, plus up to 70% off for Black Friday.
And the shipping's fast and free, even for the big stuff. No more wrestling with boxes in the driveway.
Maybe I'll even get points for ordering early this year.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Don't miss out on early Black Friday deals. Head to wayfair.com now to shop Wayfair's Black Friday deals for up to 70% off. That's WAYFAIR.com. Sale ends December the 7th.
Okay, confession time. I have spent a small fortune on skincare and hair stuff, serums, masks, shampoos that sound like they need a PhD. And then I realized I was skipping the most basic step, the water I shower in.
You filter your drinking water, but the shower, that's like washing your face with a salad and saying it's hydrating. Chlorine is great at disinfecting our water systems, but not so great for our skin and hair.
Enter Jolie, a beauty wellness company that purifies the water we shower in for better skin, hair, and overall well-being. Jolie's filtered shower head is best in class for removing chlorine and heavy metals.
And it's the only lab-tested and clinically trialed filtering shower head on the market. Clinically proven to reduce hair shedding in 81% of people, lab tested to reduce hair frizziness by 40%, maintain color retention, and protect the hair surface layer.
It's sleek, still gives strong water pressure, and fits all showers because the plumbing pipe size is universal.
Upgrade your shower, your face will write you a thank you note.
Jolie will give you your best skin and hair guaranteed. Head to jolieskinco.com/RBG to try it out for yourself with free shipping.
And if you don't like it, you can return your Jolie for a full refund within 60 days. No questions asked.
And now back to our show.
Well, you are both in sharing those stories, setting the stage in a beautiful way for this next question. Like, where have you seen your number benefit you in the context of parenting?
I will tell you this, and I was telling Aaron this morning, we were talking about our kids' ages being so different. My daughter's 29. She's a 4. She's very open about talking about her feelings. She's very well-versed in therapy and all the things. My son, not quite as much, but he's lived with us, so he kind of has to some. But he does know some. So he's a 6, she's a 4. But I think the one that sticks out the most to me, and I don't want to cry because 7s aren't going to cry, but literally my daughter told me one time that they had a conversation about how when they were younger, it was kind of irritating to have somebody wanting to spin everything positive all the time, like when you're maybe feeling angsty and not wanting to be pulled out all the time. But now as adults, they so appreciate having, and these are her words, not mine, a parent that just is joyful, finding the joy in everything.
Yes.
And I think they appreciate that. And she always refers to me as her biggest cheerleader, and I want to be that for them. And so, was that the question?
That's a great answer.
Great answer.
Yeah.
I am learning that my fatal flaw as a 7 is when people come to me with their feelings that it's easy to like justify in the moment if it's like valid or not. I think based on my scale of how valid feelings are, which is of course here it's like there's so many stories where it's like it's all valid. Like and that's where I can struggle at home as a parent and a spouse is like filtering that of like, is this as big a deal? Like, should I be optimistic and counterbalance these feelings, or should I go, oh, that is, you're right. And I think it's really hard with kids to say, yeah, your big feeling right now is totally valid and justified. Because my oldest is a big feeler and shows it. And we were on a Southwest flight. He was watching Lilo and Stitch. And he just starts wailing when they get separate. I have not seen the movie, but I was kind of watching over his shoulder.
Yeah, I don't know the movie.
And he is bawling his eyes out, wailing. And so my reaction is like, you're causing a scene and we need to like downplay this emotion as soon as possible. But I wouldn't want to like, push down those feelings in him at all. And I can totally do that. And especially like we're the adults, we see big picture, like
Yeah.
maybe that isn't the biggest thing in the world. But him in the moment, it's like, yeah, he came home and it's like, my best friend hates me now because we had an argument on the playground. And I know 2 days later, as first graders, they're going to be best friends
Yeah.
again. And I need to stop and be in the moment with him and just let it go. So I wonder with you having a daughter,
I've
who-
learned to
yeah.
listen. Yeah. And just empathy doesn't come naturally in the sense of when somebody is sitting in their sadness.
Mhm.
I have, as David would say, I have no category for that. I don't understand wanting to sit in your sadness.
Yeah.
But the whole thing about seeing the world through different eyes is literally putting myself in her shoes and just being, I've learned how to do it. And our relationship has grown because I've learned how to do it and we understand each other better. Just being, and my son too, it's not like he hasn't gone through hard times too, and just empathize and not try to fix right away.
Right.
But can I say this about Henry? Like, I'm envious of that. I wish I could sob like that during a movie when you're feeling something. Like, good for him. I do.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I'd be like, oh, like, I have to. G7s talk about this sometimes, how they want to hack a cry. Like, if I feel like I need to cry, honest to goodness, my sisters don't understand why I want to go to my dad's grave because they're like, why? He's not there. Like, why do you want to go to the headstone or whatever? But I went through a lot to try to figure out which one his headstone was. Because, anyway, long story about Chattanooga and funeral homes and graveyards. But when I got there, y'all, I could not quit sobbing. And I can't cry about Daddy unless I'm like, I had to be there in the physical presence. And that's one thing I've learned about my number 2 is that, does that make sense to you?
Oh, yeah.
Do you feel that?
In college, I'd be watching back when Sports Center, ESPN Sports Center was like, you get up every morning. I should have been in class watching Sports Center. But every week they would do something with a Make-A-Wish kid. And then the Rascal Flatts song that I'm not going to sing it, but it would come on and I'm like, this is my built-in time to cry this week.
Yeah.
It's like watching some kid throw a football with Peyton Manning or,
I love that.
but
Yes.
needed that release. And as a college guy, like 7, that did not come often, just like being in touch with my feelings even for a moment. But I was like so excited when it would come because I knew it's something I needed, but had no way of accessing that at all.
And that's exactly what they were trying to do, too, is to get people like you to cry.
Yes,
That's amazing.
So I'd go, oh, good. This Make-A-Wish kid's about to meet.
Because it does feel good to cry when
Shaquille
you don't cry a
O'Neal.
lot.
Yeah.
Well, and I think, too, I feel so excited for parents listening to hear both of you talk about those contexts and learning about yourself. I had to require that of myself. Like, I didn't want to do that. It didn't come naturally to me. I needed to go to the grave. I needed to watch this. And that's such a sign of growth in your number and your wise knowing. And I was thinking, even as you all were telling the stories, you about Henry on the plane and you about Mallory, like the gift of having a kid who feels deeply and that you learned, I have got to learn to sit with that. Like that's a God-given opportunity and B, necessary to this journey. And even what you all had to offer each other, I think about the gift having a 4 daughter and a 7 mom of you could pull her forward when she could drown in quicksand of emotion and she could help you sit in the hard places.
Right. It makes me sad that we didn't realize it till later. Like when I didn't know about the Enneagram, when I didn't understand these things about myself, when we were going through hard times, it was like if I had understood that now, like knowing it at your kids' ages, that would have been amazing to know earlier.
I feel the exact same way, Mary.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons we got so excited about doing this and thinking about how many parents of young kids we have who listen and who could, learn more in these spaces that could inform things. So, I love that too.
Well, even the series being about like parenting out of your number and not just, hey, let's get people of certain numbers to just come share about being that number. Because David, what you said about like we can pull our kids forward with our number, but we also like Henry's taught me a lot about it's okay to be where your feet are and feel what you're feeling in that
Yes.
moment. And I will get in moments where I'm like, he is teaching me a lot in this, and I am behind him. I need to learn some of these skills that he has, as far as just accessing his feelings but also his empathy. I think we cannot drive by a person without a home or a person having a hard day without him going, what do you think they need? And that's where when you're being optimistic and rosy all the time, you can miss those things. What were you saying?
Yeah.
Well, the image at some point that came to me about sevens, which I don't think either of you all are in this place. And it, like you said, it's why I'm so glad we're having this conversation, but it's somebody in the front of a parade. Have I told you this?
No, but
Throwing confetti, making it so fun for everybody, and hitting people in the face with their elbows.
while they're at it. Yes.
Throwing the confetti. Not intending to, and with the very best of intentions for this to be so fun, but
needing to be
empathy,
aware of the other
and
people's
awareness.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Feels
Listen,
like more of a
don't
learned
think
skill.
I wasn't tempted to come in here today with an air horn and confetti just to get the party started. I was like, because that's what they expect of sevens, like all that. But you do have to be, that whole thing about how we don't have a line to feeling. And I know I don't for myself, but I also have to consider other people's feelings. Sometimes we get very hot needle, whatever it is, about wanting to get our way, that we don't stop and consider what the other people in our lives might feel about that decision. I'm thinking about a decision I made when my daughter was 16, and I made it really quickly because sevens tend to just impulsively do things.
Yeah.
And it did not feel good to her.
Right.
But I went ahead.
I feel like we're constantly falling forward. That's just like we are falling and we're falling forward, and is kind of controlled of like, how do we make this the best? But I feel like we feel often inadequate to other numbers for so many reasons of like
like a joke.
Yeah, totally. Of just like, here we go again. Like, and so it is kind of like, well, if we're not going to be taken seriously, I feel less that way now for sure. But I think in that awkward,
we bring a lot of that on
adult-
ourselves.
yeah,
though.
oh,
I will
for
say,
sure.
it's the self-deprecating humor. I remember one
Yes.
time we were doing a game as a family, and we were all going around saying, "What's one word to describe yourself?" And I was just like, I said ridiculous. And then I'm like, well, that know, like, and so do I want people to think that about? I know there's more to me than that, but just
Well, you two are some of the biggest hearted people I've ever met in my whole life. Both of you genuinely
It's very kind.
feel
Thank you.
so deeply and are, so kind out of that in your empathy and connection to other people.
Wow.
And I'm
Thank you.
coming back to you because I don't know if you noticed, but when we said, what's I can't remember, where have you seen your number benefit you and where's it gotten in the way? You did not answer where it's benefited you. And so I'm going to answer for you and say, I can't imagine praying for someone who would love my sister more than you do,
Aw.
number one. And bringing fun, but bringing that so significantly. And two, I've told you the story so many times, but one of the last nights I remember being with Mom when she was conscious before she died, her saying, Aaron's a really good dad. And you certainly are. I mean, the depth with which you will dive into a Lego project with Henry and the immediate flip from whatever was going on to slinging those boys around on the couch and wrestling. And you saying that about where your feet are, you are so where your feet are with those boys in the most beautiful, playful way that I think is teaching them resilience and capability and depth of feeling too. But gosh, you bring so much to them.
Way to go.
Adventure and strength. I'm embarrassing you. I can only do this because you can't argue
I'm
with me
around
because
him
we're on a
less than you
podcast.
are, but I would agree. I do.
He's amazing.
I think with a 6 and 3-year-old, like, you're forced to be where your feet are a lot too,
Yeah.
more than I am. I'm constantly future tripping, but you're there.
That's all so nice. And we'll cut all that thing.
No, we won't.
No,
we
I
won't.
think
No,
it's
we won't.
hard.
No.
Like all these things we're learning about ourselves is like you're just realizing we're still not where we want to be.
Sure.
And I think we do have a bigger critic than anyone would guess a
Yes.
7 has.
Oh, the regrets.
can go to
Remember when
one. Yes.
Suzanne talked about the regrets?
Yeah.
It's like, and again, like just even being envious of where you are, having this knowledge and them being so little and still malleable. I feel like it's too late for me, and whatever I did, oh well, it's been done and they're adults now and they're great adults. I'm not saying that, but there's regrets.
Yeah.
Sure.
How do y'all work with parents with regret? I mean, there's so much. I mean, that's a very broad question. I'm like,
That's a great
we
question.
have y'all here on our podcast for a minute.
Listen, don't think we're not going to get our own after this.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, I just think it's part of where being a believer makes all the difference.
Mhm.
Because I think even hearing you say what you said
yeah,
of something that you were categorizing as an impulsive decision.
Yeah.
I think knowing you and knowing your daughter, and as hard as change can be, and as hard as maybe that was, potentially, it was so good. And it changed her forever. I'm confident. And I think were she sitting here, she would say that.
Yeah.
Mm.
She would say, goodness, the generosity and tenacity and so many things she has observed in you in that too. And I just think it's easy for us to have regrets, but we don't know the other side of
Mhm.
what it's
Yeah.
growing and creating
Yeah.
and how God's using things.
And I think my point there was it's not that I regret my decision. It's more that I should have taken a beat more and
Mhm.
had few more, which we did. We chatted with you about all the things, but it's like, I mean, the fact that I will just sign myself up to do whatever so fast, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just the
Yeah,
impulsivity. I'm just always the first
Yeah.
to just most of the time, to
Yeah.
raise my hand and do whatever. But it's gotten me into trouble in other ways too. But yeah, that's just life. Can't be this old without having some regrets,
that's
I don't
right.
suppose.
And now a quick break to hear from one of our incredible sponsors who make the podcast available. Sissy, we are asked often by parents about how and when to talk with kids about sex and how to have important conversations about gender and sexuality.
We encourage parents all the time to become the primary source for their kids' questions, but often parents feel overwhelmed in how to be the source. That's why we're excited to share about raising kids from Christian sexuality.
Raising Kids is an 8-episode video course for Christian parents of kids 12 and under, helping lead kids through age-appropriate conversations about sex, gender, their bodies, and more with biblical wisdom and love.
From a young age, our kids are absorbing messages about sex and gender, from the movies they watch to what they're learning in their schools. So how do we lay a biblical foundation for kids to help them navigate all these confusing messages wisely and faithfully?
This course also provides wisdom on a variety of other important questions parents are asking. Should my kid have a cell phone? How can I protect my kids from sexual abuse and exposure to pornography?
Hear from a trusted group of pastors, parents, and Bible teachers like John Mark Comer, John Tyson, Preston Sprinkle, as well as psychologists like Drs. Julia Sadusky, Dan Allender, and Kurt Thompson.
Instead of waiting for the world to disciple our kids, let's become the most trusted voices in our kids' lives.
Get started today. For a limited time, our listeners get 15% off. Head to christian-sexuality.com and use the promo code RBG at checkout.
That's christian-sexuality.com and use the promo code RBG at checkout. And now back to the show.
I would love to ask you all what you would say you hope your kids experience most deeply from you as a parent.
I would hope that I have modeled for them on it. And again, I'm just going to bring it back to being a 7, to literally try to look at the bright side that, my son went through just a couple of rough things this summer and he's a 6 and he gets anxious and worried. And I just think just to know that life is going to bring you down sometimes. It is, but there's always going to be an up. And so I just want them to not feel, I hope they learn from me and the way I am that like there's always hope on the other side. It's always, it may keep happening, but you're going to, Does that make sense?
Yes. My sense was we are hopeful for other people. Like,
Yes.
I think when we are in those emotional conversations that we struggle to lean in, a lot of those times we have so much hope for that person and we want so much for that person and we see so much of who they are and who they can be. Like, I think our optimism can be kind of injected into that person. Well, and I think it is so cool when you were talking about Mallory, your daughter who's a 4, that y'all are best friends.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's so cool that a 7 and a 4 in that context of like a 7 parent with a 4 child, like that, despite and it's why I'm like, oh my goodness, I did not react to my child's need very well when they just needed to be heard. Like, and I think I have so much fear that I'm telling him constantly, like, you're too big, you're too much, you're too emotional, but that you were on this side of things and best friends. And I think it's probably because you injected so much hope into her and pulled her along in that way.
I just got sidetracked because when you said, thank you for saying that. When you said too big, too much, one of our conversations growing up in our family, I always thought my son was a 9. He has a lot of 9 behaviors, but he's a 6 because he's figured that out all by himself. And, but when the 4 of us were at home, he did. The 4 of us were at home. I think that Mallory, my 4 daughter, got the impression that she was too much, too big. I used to say things, and I feel horrible saying it, like, I'm not going to get on the roller coaster with you. If I could take back every single time I said that to her, I would. Because to her, it was her real feelings, what was going on in her life. It wasn't a roller coaster.
That is a great statement, Mary.
And what I was trying to say was, I have to put up a boundary and step back a little bit. You're going to be okay, but I can't go through all the emotions you're going through with you, but I'm here for you. So one time, or actually lots of times, she tells me I'm a lot because I am, I want to come in here with an air horn. Like I said, so if we're meeting somebody that she wants me to meet for the first time, she'd be like, Mom, just be chill, be chill. And one time in a serious moment, I said to her, I go, first of all, I know how. I get around every day without you telling me. And Second of all, do you remember when you were younger and you used to say that you didn't like me telling you were too much? I go, maybe I don't like being told I'm too much. So how about that? And she agreed. She was like, you're right, Mom. I'm going to look at it that way from now on. So, but to go back to your question, I do hope that they know, because I'm sure they're listening to this, that I am their biggest cheerleader. That is real. And always will be, no matter what happens in this world to them.
And we're in there with you for both of them.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, we learned from Suzanne that I think 7s are the quickest thinking number. And I think that is a lot of what happens there in that situation of like, you're feeling, you're doing all these things. I'm already jumping to, I know you got it. I know you'll work through this. I know, like, let's move on to the next thing.
And
because
we know it's going to be okay.
Because we know it's going to be okay, and we trust you, and you have all the skills to get through this. Let's go ahead and get through it. And we run into major roadblocks when people aren't willing, or not willing. That's a terrible way to say that, but aren't at the same speed we are. We're not great at waiting on those things.
What wisdom would the two of you share with other parents of your same number who want to grow as people and as parents?
I would just say in so many things, take a breath and count to 3, and don't go with your first reaction to responding to your kid. I think that quick thinking, and I'm not just with kids, but with spouses, like, we know it's all going to work out. So we quickly move on. And I think just maybe go with the second thing that comes to your head. That might be my best advice, is just maybe not the first, file that one away. That one's for you. And then the second one of just like, I'm going to think about what you need, not what my gut reaction is telling me. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, it's pulling up that suppressed one. Like, we are do, which means say. And that filter,
So
I think, is what you're trying to say.
Maybe the third thing that comes.
It's the filter. And just don't try to make a joke out of it. look at it through their eyes, and yes, take a beat and just listen more than you talk, probably.
Yeah.
We always end with something fun and food related, which I feel like you're both here for that. So what is your number's ideal meal or experience?
I think first I think about big table, whatever it is, big table, lots of people around it. It's as much about sharing it, but yeah, I mean, I think we would have a pizza party every day.
Yeah.
With
Are you making it homemade?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
With our 20 best friends or our 20 best friends that day, or, like, doesn't matter.
It's glutton. Like, if 2 is good, 12 is better. That is my motto. Just ask my husband when I go to the grocery store. Because if I find something I like, I buy. But yeah, I literally, when you asked this question, or when I saw the question on the list, I was like, oh gosh. Because I have conversations with my family all the time about what our desert island food meal would be, the one that you had to eat over and over. And it's so hard for me to narrow it down between like Swiss cake rolls. I mean, it is all the sugar.
Swiss cake rolls.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fried chicken, but specifically from one plate, fries, but they have to be here and they have to have honey mustard and they have to be seasoned. But then I just was like, you know what? I'm going to sum it up by just saying, like in the scene in Elf, when he's sitting down at the table with the spaghetti and starts pouring cereal and sugar and everything, just like that would be it for me. Just sugar, sugar, sugar.
Yeah.
What's fascinating is the two of you were answering that. It just occurred to me that we were at a meal with these two recently.
I was thinking the same
big
thing.
table.
Mm-hmm.
And it just hit me that driving home, we were talking about what a beautiful evening it was. And I think I mostly talked about the two of you. Like how incredible the food was, which Aaron was responsible for.
Oh my gosh.
Homemade pasta.
Oh my gosh.
Homemade pizza.
12
Did you
courses.
catch the homemade before all of those?
Yeah.
Just how 7 is this meal? It was a pizza appetizer.
Yeah.
And then polenta and meatballs.
Oh, those were so good.
And homemade pasta. And then we had cake.
Caramel cake.
I'm still thinking about it. Like
Wow.
it was
2 kinds
so
of cake.
extraordinary. And the way that you would create a meal experience, like beyond the fact that you were just this insane chef, like the experience.
Yes.
And was thinking about you telling this story at dinner, and not just the story you told, which is something on its own, but the way you tell it. And why I think I was driving home talking about the two of you so much is that's what I think you all do in life with us all the time. Like I was thinking about listening to you, Aaron, a few minutes ago and thinking, you all are intuitively thinking it's going to be okay, and how desperately we all need that.
Yes.
I don't think that in most situations. Like I'll go the opposite. Like,
really?
Oh, I can worst case scenario you into the ground. And so the way you all buoy us as people, that's the thing I always think about. And I want you to hear that beyond, because I love when you talked at the beginning about how often we do require sevens to just bring the fun, bring the fun and the funny. And I don't want you to hear that, but the way you will bring joy and optimism and celebration and gratitude, like all those things, it's why I think we're our best selves when we're moving to the high side of your number.
Amen.
And to all the ways you all have taught today, I think you're such a picture of the high side of that number. Like when I think about, I got to get there, I will so often think about the two of you. Like, what would that look like on Aaron or Mary? Because we've all been in the company of folks living on the low side of 7, and that can be a scary place. But I think it's
been there.
It's where we be our best selves. And so I'm grateful you all remind us of that.
I think I have to feel like it's all going to be okay. I mean, I have anxiety too, which is, I don't know if a lot of 7s do, but I'm a 7 with anxiety, thankfully medicated. But anyway, I have to think it's going to be okay. Otherwise, I could spiral, and I don't want to have to do that. So I'm wired to think it's going to be okay, which is so helpful with anxiety.
No.
Wow.
We need you in the world.
We need you in the world.
And in our world, for sure.
We're grateful you're in it.
To everyone parenting a 7, just be patient. Like set some hard guardrails.
Oh, yeah.
And be patient with everything that happens in the
or
middle
just
of it.
keep grounding them every week like I was.
Yeah.
You got options.
Maybe don't send them to college because that's
No, that was
that's
the best
a
4 years of my
50-50.
life.
I know, but those tuition dollars may not be well
that's true.
spent.
It was so much fun, though.
Yeah, I think a lot of sevens have things in common. But I was sitting here, I'm like desperately like, can we re-record the first 10 minutes? We were not very fun or dynamic
Really?
the first 10 minutes. Like we did not bring the.
I could have.
We're here now.
Oh my
But-
goodness. We
I
arrived.
Yeah.
have faith in these people. They're gonna make it all.
spruce
We're gonna
yeah,
sound
yeah.
great.
Please pitch us up a little bit. Yeah.
But you know what I want to say? And I'm going to give a little takeaway here at the end. Aaron, I love that you said that because it reminded me just this week. I was with a delightful set of parents who have a strong suspicion one of their kids is a 7. And I think so. And my challenge to them, which I think could be a great challenge for any parent listening who has a suspicion of a kid in any number, is interview adults in that number that you really respect, who you would say they're healthy in their number, like, and how helpful I think that'll be in helping you play the long game for when you're in the hardest moments or
That's a great idea.
when you are in the throes of adolescence with a daughter you love who's a 4. Like, I think keep interviewing people that I think give you that sense of hope and remind you what you're moving toward, because you are such a great picture. I would think if I were parenting a 7 right now, oh my goodness.
I'd be so hopeful.
Me too.
That's what we're here to bring the hope.
Might be the hardest to parent. I mean, it's just wiggling out of pain.
My parents would have said it was for sure out of the 3 of us.
Yeah. So we're with you. We're sorry, Mom
sorry.
and Dad. Yeah.
We're fun later.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for giving us the title of our episode, Yummy, Yummy, Yummy. I've got love in my tummy. That's what we're going to call this episode.
Yay. Thanks for having us.
Oh, y'all, thank you. David, what a team we have that we get to call friends who help make this podcast possible. Chris Starrett, our engineer.
Our management team at KCH.
And we are thrilled to be a part of the That Sounds Fun network.
Our music was created by the insanely talented Dave Haywood of Lady A.
And if this podcast felt helpful to you, please consider subscribing, liking, sharing, all the things.
We are grateful for you and cheering you on always.